What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome to episode 2 of Call of Duty Ghosts Maps Exposed. In this series I go over all of the lines of sight, jumps, and spots that I know of on every one of the maps in Call of Duty Ghosts. In this episode we're going to be moving down the list and covering the map Octane. So first up, as always, let's cover the domination capture spots. For the C flag, I love capturing right here next to this little shipping container or whatever this thing is, I don't really know exactly. But I love capturing right in this corner here. You just wedge yourself in, you can capture from there, you can watch that doorway. It's perfect for capturing the C flag. Another alternative is to capture from the other side, but it's not really all that useful because you don't expect enemies to be coming from the back area. Moving on to the B flag, unfortunately there aren't any super secret capture spots where you can capture from outside of the actual trailer, so you do have to go in the trailer. But if you're capturing from this way, just wedge yourself in that side to avoid the window up there, and you'll avoid a lot of lines of sight. And similarly on the other side, if you're capturing from the ADOM side, you're going to want to wedge yourself in the right hand corner here to avoid the line of sight from the big 2 building. So finally for the A flag, you actually have quite a few options for little pieces of cover to use while capturing the flag. If you expect them to be coming from over there, you can capture from right next to this, or you can move up close to the Humvee and use the Humvee for cover, and then you're a lot more mobile and standing up here. Now, if you expect the enemies are possibly up in the window there, you can capture up close to this little piece of cover right here and use that for cover. Or if you think they're going to be coming from this side of the map, obviously you can just wedge yourself in the corner by this truck here and use that for cover. And really with this flag, you have so much cover, you just have to basically make sure you're using the right piece of cover for the situation. Okay, so let's start off closer to the C flag and then we'll work our way around the map to get to the A flag. So to get up in this building that I like to call Big 2 because it has Big 2 sign on it, you can jump up this way to get up here. That's a way that a lot of people aren't quite aware of yet. Another way, obviously the stairs that I just came down, you can go up those. And then finally, you can go up the ladder on the back side here. So there are 3 ways into this building. And moving on to the back area of the gas station, there's all this sort of junk that's piled up here, and you can actually jump on top of this and use a lot of it for cover, so you can look towards the C flag. A lot of people will defend the flag from here, so just be aware of that if you're trying to rush through here. Have a look up here. And if they're coming from that way, you can actually head glitch this piece really nicely and watch as they come through there. So just be aware of people sitting there, and you may want to use it for yourself, but it is pretty campy. Okay, so now getting into the gas station itself, there's actually a really nice line of sight into that window there where a lot of people love to sit. A lot of campers like to sit up there. So it's really great to know this. You can come up behind this shelving unit here and you get a really nice head glitch and line of sight into that window. There's almost no way they're going to see you here unless maybe they're using a thermal sight. Now moving on further back here, if you have people that are going to be coming through there and you're over in this area, you can jump up on this barrel here and you can actually sort of head glitch over and take that guy by surprise, get a quick kill, and then move on. Similar to the last one, I have another one that looks right into that gap there where people come through. And this one is pretty dirty, but I did want to point it out to you guys. It only really works with a sniper rifle or maybe a marksman rifle, but if you hop on the counter in the diner and look through this crack, you're actually looking right through that little opening where people are funneled through when they come through that area. So this might be a good search and destroy or search and rescue spot. Now to get on top of the pawn shop, which is actually a very popular place to be, there are 3 normal ways that I know of, and then there's one way that can only be done once a certain dynamic map element has been activated, and I'll show you that later. So you can jump up on this truck and then just simply mantle up onto the roof. That's pretty simple. You can do it 2 ways, just like that. Then there are 2 ladders. There's one actually in the pawn shop that comes up to the roof. And then across the way here, there's one in the diner that comes up onto the roof of the diner. And then you can just walk across to the pawn shop. Alright, so now let's move on to all of the dynamic map elements that I know of on this map. So these skulls right here on the roof indicate an area that can be blown up. And you just throw a C4, Semtex, IED, whatever you want on there that'll blow it up. And it'll open up some lines of sight right there. And that's pretty straightforward. And obviously another one is right here. You can blow up this big section of wall where this skull is, and that'll open up a big line of sight across to a bunch of the map. Now moving on to the one that I'm sure all of you guys know, this is the big one on this map. You can blow up this gas pump right here and this whole thing will fall over, kill anyone in its path, and then it'll also open up and change a few of the lines of sight on the map. Now for this last one, this is game mode dependent, so you're not going to see it in domination because that's where the B flag is, but a care package will actually appear in this trailer and you can blow the doors off to get to that care package once it appears, and that is the final dynamic map element for this map. Okay, so now that we've blown up that wall on the pawn shop, there's one more way to get up onto the roof. And you just come up on this trailer and then just sprint jump across here. It's not the easiest jump, so sometimes you're not going to make it. So I do have a little bit of an easier way to jump from the trailer to up there. So all you do is jump from the trailer onto this little ledge, and then you just hop into the opening there. And speaking of this semi, you can actually jump up onto the hood of the semi, and you get a really nice line of sight across the map, and you have quite a bit of cover here. So right by this trailer, I have a spot that looks into the pawn shop. This one is very situation dependent, probably only good for a 1v1 situation, but you can jump up on this barrel, crouch down, and you get a nice line of sight into that doorway. But you are extremely exposed to the rest of the map, so just be aware of that. And the next one is really similar. It gives you a nice line of sight into the pawn shop, but once again, it's probably only useful in very specific situations, but you can jump up on this barrel, and there you go. You can see into the pawn shop really nicely. Okay, so moving on more towards the A flag, you can actually jump up on top of this bus if you wanted to, so jump up on this big garbage bin, and you can head glitch over towards the big 2 building, or you can just hop right up on top of the bus, and from this bus you can actually jump into this doorway right here, which is really useful to know. I use this one quite a bit because people don't expect it, but it is really game mode dependent. And another thing, from right here, you actually get a really nice head glitch as well towards there. It's not the greatest though, so I wouldn't spend too much time here. Maybe use it for a kill and then move on. Now to get up in this open doorway right here, a lot of people haven't seemed to notice yet that you can jump up onto these red crates and then just simply mantle into the doorway. So right by the A flag, if you're expecting people to be coming from that direction over there, you can actually just hop up onto this little wall right here, and they won't expect to see your head pop up over top of those red crates, so you just stand up on here and then crouch, and you get a nice head glitch over top. And this also allows you to look through this little crack right here and see people coming through middle. Another thing you can do to defend against people that are coming from the strip club area is you can actually jump up on this little red crate here and then just slowly slide down as you're crouched. Slide over here and you get a really nice piece of cover right here to use. Now a lot of the times I'll flank the enemy and they'll be up in that room there, that really popular spot up in the window. And instead of coming all the way up these stairs like this and then taking them by surprise and shooting them in the back there, I just have a little bit of a shortcut that I like to use. I just hop up on these red crates right here, and then you can usually see them from here and just spray them down really quickly. And if you can't from there, then you can jump up on these red crates and you should be able to see them through there. And that's just a shortcut that I use. This next spot, it gets you a really nice line of sight into that big 2 building, but with this one, you're probably going to need a sniper rifle to actually get a kill. All you have to do is come up on this broken wall over here, and there you go. You get a nice line of sight just through that little crack there. And this next one is really nearby. You just hop up onto the hood of this truck and then move over to the right, and you get a really nice line of sight into that big open area in the middle of the map, and you just might catch somebody as they cross by there. Now, right back by the corner of the strip club, I have a really nice line of sight into where the A is on the pawn shop. So if that wall is blown up and somebody's using that and sniping from there or something, you can get out a sniper rifle or an assault rifle, jump up on these crates, and there you go. You get a nice line of sight over top of the bus. Alright, so now let's look at all of the different ways that I know of to get into the strip club building. So first up, to get into this window, you can hop up on the Humvee and then on the red crate and then in. So obviously another way into the strip club is just on this stairway right on the backside here. Pretty simple, straightforward. And then there's also the stairway on the inside. You can come up that way. And finally, there's a way to get into the window from up here. If you go onto the top of this semi-trailer right here, you can jump up on the ladder, or you can just jump up on the hood of the truck and then just jump across. Alright, so the last one in this video, there's a really nice line of sight from the bottom of the strip club into the big 2 building, which is very useful because often they'll spawn trap you from that building into the strip club. So if you just come up behind this sign, you get a really nice line of sight through there, and it's not likely that they'll be looking that far back into the strip club. So you usually take them by surprise. Alright, so that's all I have for this episode of Call of Duty Ghosts Maps Exposed. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time.